Well, just one game to review this week as the Sunday matchup with Penn State was postponed, but the Badgers were back on the home floor for a Wednesday night matchup against the Indiana Hoosiers. We'll check out some of the highlights. We'll also hear from head coach Greg Gard, and we'll visit with a very loyal Dallas Cowboys fan who's also quite the energizer off the bench for the Badgers in the backcourt, Trevor Anderson. It's all coming up on today's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
No good. Race Thompson the other way for Indiana. Feeds Galloway in the lane. Low on the left. Throws it up. Wild shot. No good. Ford clears for Wisconsin. And now the Badgers with some numbers. Trice throws to Davison. A spot up three. Left side. Got it. Brad Davison with a triple. 5-0 Wisconsin. Trice between the circles. Ball screen from Potter. Trice moves to his right. Picks up the dribble. Throws a Potter wide open inside. Slam dunk. 4 for Potter here in the first half. We're tied at 11. All screen Jackson Davis, screen and roll. Jackson Davis catches up left hand, back rim no. Rebound Davis of Wisconsin. Goes released to Trice, goes cross court to Aleem Ford off the right wing. Ford to the rim, layup good. Aleem Ford from Trice, the middle of the front court for the Hoosiers. Gives off to Trace Jackson Davis and a pass stolen away by Tyler Wall. Hunter in pursuit, Wall to the rim, slam dunk with the right hand. Wall with the steal and the flush. Still between the circles, 15 to shoot. Trice out front. Now drives in the lane. Floater right hand. Good. Trice ties the game at 61. Jackson Davis left wing. Moving in on Reaver. Spin move. Low on the left. Goes up. No. Tip no. Rebound Davis with one. Davis will heave it from beyond half court. It's off the glass and we're going to overtime. 5 to shoot. Trice off the wing. Feeds Potter down the lane. Slam dunk. Counted and a foul.
Badgers move from the field house to the Final Four.
Touchdown, Wisconsin. Kendrick Pryor.
Oh! White spot open.
The Badger Sports Report is built by Ford, a proud partner of Wisconsin athletics. By Hyvee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hyvee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
When you've been injured, you need the hometown team on your side. Trust us to get you back in the game. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on Tacoma, RAV4, Camry, and more.
I'll take it.
I'll get this wrapped up for you. I wish I hadn't just unwrapped it.
Right now, during Toyotathon, you can get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Camry or 2021 RAV4.
Toyotathon is on. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Injured? You need a team you can trust. Call Gruber Law Offices today, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
Dietrich Trice throwing to Brad Davison out between the circles. A pass for Reavers. He'll send a Trice for three. Right side. Got it! Dietrich Trice for three. 1 minute left in overtime. Inbounds pass to Finney. He'll give off to Jackson Davis with 5. Feeds Durham with 4. Durham high on the left, behind the back with 2. With 1, got tied up by Davison. Held ball. Arrow, Wisconsin. And the Badgers now will use a timeout. Oh, what a defensive play by the Badgers and Brad Davison. Here's Davison, left of the circle. He'll throw to Wall. Left corner 3. Yes! Tyler Wall, his third 3 of the season. And it's 74-70 Wisconsin. 3:15 left in the second overtime. Demetric Trice at the edge of the center circle. High screen from Potter. Trice moves to his right. Jackson Davis gets him on the switch. Trice left-hand dribble to the free throw line. Out the wall, another 3. Got it! Oh my goodness! Tyler Wall on fire! Timeout Indiana as the Badgers lead by 7 because just as we all thought, Tyler Wall drains 2 bombs. And the Wisconsin Badgers will get a very hard-fought double overtime win against Indiana. Big Ten basketball. You can't beat it.
The first one, it was kind of later in the shot clock, so I thought that would probably be the best shot to get, and I just shot it confidently because that's what I've been working on all summer into the fall, and even like you said, that the numbers might not have shown it. Just trying to keep that confidence going into the season. So that's kind of the thing that this season I've been trying to get going, but it finally worked out. So there was no hesitation.
Coach Tucker's always working with him on catch and shooting, and he does this after every shoot around. And he works on spot up shooting, coming off on balls and things like that with his shooting performance. And we knew it was only going to take a couple of times for him to get hot, and he got hot in the right time.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hyvee Plus. Get a Hyvee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hyvee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today.
You've heard the saying, if it looks like bacon and it tastes like sausage, it's probably Johnsonville sausage strips. Oh, you never heard that? Well, sausage strips are pretty new. They're strips of sausage in amazing flavors like maple and chorizo. You can find this meaty miracle butter bacon, even though it's sausage.
Whoa. Thought for this week's show it'd be good to get into a basketball discussion regarding scouting, how the Badgers prepare for every opponent. Greg, you have 3 guys on your staff, and you rotate the assistants and which opponents each of those guys will put the scouting report on. How do you determine that? Imagine over the years there's some familiarity with some guys, but how do you break that down, what Joe does, what Dean does, and what Orlando Tucker does?
Yeah, that's a good question, Matt. Part of it is familiarity in terms of maybe teams you've had in the past or teams that are similar in terms of what they run. Obviously, if there's a coaching regime that's in place for a long time and a coach has that or one of our guys has that, we tend to stay, true to that and go from year to year knowing that the tendencies are pretty well known. I think the other thing we look at is how the schedule lays out, not trying to overburden one assistant coach with, 2 or 3 or 4 scouts in a row. So, even though we like to keep with the same team year in and year out just because of the knowledge from the past, it really, in the end of the day, gets dictated somewhat by how the schedule lays out and the sequence of games and how they fall. So the combination of those two, I really let the 3 assistants sort that out and work with our video coordinator, AJ Van Handel, to kind of put all that together, and then they present to me how they want to handle it. So sometimes there is a shuffling. A coach that maybe had a team last year doesn't have them this year just because of the sequencing of the games.
I want to ask you about AJ here in a minute, but I remember Orlando, his first scout last year, his first scout as an assistant coach, and he was fired up. He was nervous. I mean, he had He had grown up hearing scouting reports, but this was a new role in giving it. How has he developed in that area?
He's continued to mature and get better and better. With that, you were right. He was nervous and excited. And, one thing I was just like, hey, slow down. And it's different when you've heard him for years like he did as a player. And then you're on the other side, so to speak, of the table, and you got to present them. It's not, once you have the best teacher with that too is just experience. Obviously picking up things on film, doing your homework with that. The other two assistants, Dean and Joe, are really good and have been really good in helping bring Orlando along. And but I think as he continues to get more experience and understands, that whole aspect, and a lot of it's changed so much because we have so much access to analytics now. And you mentioned AJ and some of the things we can do from a computer standpoint of really breaking things down. It's more than just looking at film and kind of, regurgitating what the eyes tell you and watching them play, but also we try to put some numbers and proof behind what we're seeing as well.
With the analytics, you gather all the information. How do you distribute that to the players where it's a little bit, you keep it simple, but you still get the point across?
Yeah, it can be overwhelming. It can be even overwhelming for me. I mean, they brought me our lineup analytics here. It's like the encyclopedia. And I had to I said, AJ, give me the Cliff Notes version in a layman's terms. So you're very cautious not to give too much information. You really got to comb through and make sure it's important, understandable information, and not, just throw out about a bunch of numbers, and because it can be very confusing. And sometimes the analytics too, they don't paint the proper picture. I think sometimes we get too consumed in numbers that they really don't they're not valid to what the team really is. So you just got to be cautious and really think about what the analytic tells you before you present it to the team.
AJ Van Handel's been in that role for a while with video. He's an absolute basketball junkie. I know even Mike and I will talk to him, ask him simple questions on trips or whenever, back when we were on trips, but he would break it all down. He'd give you a ton of numbers, but you have to have somebody who loves that deep dive into the video and everything else, the analytics to go along with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been phenomenal. And obviously he's grown up in it. He grew up, he was here as a manager for us, and then has been able to, stay the course and continue to make our video department better and better. And I think there are things that we're doing now that, we weren't doing 5-10 years ago. And obviously technology has changed, but our access and our usage of that, and analytics is a big piece of that. I've kind of given him free rein to, to explore and to experiment with different things and to bring me what he feels is really, so it kind of goes under his nose first before I ever see anything, to just make sure it's usable and user friendly and it makes sense too. And, so that's that, that balance you're trying to find between eye test and real stats, and then analytics, and use your gut feel to what really a team is about. And again, not getting too consumed with it. You can get, you can get overwhelmed with it here in a hurry. So you're just cautious not to have that happen.
When you have a veteran team like this too, do the current players, they give you feedback as well? Like, hey, coach, this play gave us trouble, or this guy does this, it gives us trouble. Is there much of that give and take?
They do. Yeah, they definitely. And I think you hear that as we go through our scout prep and we're on the floor and we're doing live possessions, the older guys will talk it out. And that's always the best, rather than a coach having to step in and direct every single possession, good, bad, or indifferent, to have the players, that's where the ownership starts to develop. They in between possessions, as we control those, there'll be times I won't step out on the floor and let them sort it out, let them figure it out on their own. And it's good to hear that communication develop and talk. And obviously this group is an older group. Those experienced voices definitely come to the forefront, and that's good to see.
Yeah, it's fun to get into that, at least get a sneak peek at all the preparation. We watch the Badgers play, but a lot of work goes in to every game before they actually step onto the floor for the opening tip. Stay with us. We have more to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
If we build this, all the legendary players will magically appear, and we'll have sports again. I call it the Field of Fame. Of course, I'll have to tear down the garage, fill in the pool, and lose the trees. So can I get a loan?
So as your friend, I love it. it, but as your banker, not so much.
Let me talk to the friend.
You could always invest in a college fund.
No, my kids aren't going to college. They're going to work at the stadium.
Our kids are going to college.
Sports are back.
My wife wants to build a college.
And not a moment too soon.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on Tacoma, RAV4, Camry, and more.
I'll take it.
I'll get this wrapped up for you. I wish I hadn't just unwrapped it.
Right now, during Toyotathon, you can get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Camry or 2021 RAV4.
Toyotathon is on. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Well, you hear the word team win a lot in athletics, and when you hear it at first, if you're not familiar, you might roll your eyes. Yeah, the team won, so therefore a team win. But what's meant by that is that so many different players are involved and have really important roles, and that includes our guest here today, Trevor Anderson. If you just looked at a stat sheet, that only scratches the surface of what Trev brings to the party. Although his shooting percentage will jump out at you. Trevor joins us now. Trev, watching you play, I can't help but think that you're feeling more confident in the knee. I mean, you played in every game last year and had a good year, big part of the championship team. But are you feeling just, that extra year removed now from the knee injury? You just feel a lot more comfortable and confident with it right now?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Coming off, I had 3 injuries back to back ever since I left high school. So that's a lot mentally and physically. So yeah, it's been good to kind of get back out there and be able to move at a pace that I know I can move at. Whereas last year, the years before, you're so used to playing at a certain speed, but your body might not be allowing you to get to that speed. So that was I think that was the most frustrating thing for me, was just knowing that I am faster, I am quicker, but my body's not allowing me to get to that speed. So I had to find other ways to impact the game. And I think a lot of people probably saw that with my passing and ball movement and just making those right plays. And I think that helped me grow as a player too, because now I have that extra basketball IQ, and now I can kind of look for my shot more and do a little more offensively because I'm kind of back up to that speed that I'm capable of playing at.
I remember talking to you last year, and I marveled at some passes that you were able to thread through some pretty tight windows. You seem like you can see things that a lot of players can't on the floor. I know it's in your family. I know your father, you coached you, but in some ways, I wonder whether the mental part of it comes easily for you. Is it something that's just natural? You're born with the knowledge and the gift to know where to go with the basketball?
Yeah, I mean, that was probably something I took for granted in high school, is just having that dad as a coach, that grandpa coming to every games, and just after every game, I'd get a bunch of notes or whatever, and they'd kind of go over with me what they saw and what they felt I could improve on. So that was an everyday thing. And so yeah, just constantly having that critique to see the game in a little different way. Whereas maybe I probably thought I was right half the time with my decision making, but then they kind of stepped aside and said, hey, this was actually the right read. And then you kind of step back, watch the film, and look at it, and you're like, yeah, they probably were right on that. So yeah, I definitely give all the credit to my dad and grandpa growing up, and then obviously playing around a lot of good players, the Hausers, Drew Blair, he plays at UMD. I think just in high school, we played such an unselfish style of basketball, and anybody who came to our games and saw those games, you could pick it out pretty easily. So just coming here, we play a similar style. So it was just an easy transition for me.
You mentioned the term unselfish. I look at a stat sheet, yourself, Brad, and Dimitri, your combined assists to turnovers 3-1. I would imagine a lot. And I've talked to a lot of point guards, Devin Harris. That's one of the first things they look at. I'm guessing that's one of the first things you look at as well.
Yeah, yep, definitely keeping that assist to turnover ratio high on the assist side. So yeah.
We've heard the word speed here a couple times in this conversation, and Coach Gard has mentioned you unsolicited. He mentions you saying when you come in, the offense speeds up. It seems like a perfect role for you right now. I mean, everybody would like to go 30, 35 minutes, I'm sure, but you feel like kind of that energizer when you come off the bench and get onto the floor for this group?
Yeah, that's something actually me, T-Wall, and Johnny talk about a lot, is just bringing that energy. When one of us checks in, we just, that's kind of the first word we say, like, bring that energy. And as you come off the bench, you get a chance for the first couple minutes to observe the game, and I think that's going back to that basketball IQ. We can kind of see what we're lacking, or what maybe it's hitting an open shot, maybe it's driving more. We're too stagnant. Maybe it's feeding the post. So having that couple minutes, 5-6 minutes to observe what we need, and then coming in and being able to execute the different situations that we need is definitely a big reason why we kind of get that offense moving.
I've always gotten a kick out of teams through the years and players. They go back and forth. We all know you're an NFL fan. You were raised a Dallas Cowboys fan. So how much abuse are you getting from the Green Bay Packer fans, for instance, in the Wisconsin locker room, however many there might be?
It's not so much in the locker room. Coach Gard actually started calling me Jerry Jones a little bit, pimping me a little bit here and there. But it's more my friends from back home. I can't stand them. They just, it's just the same thing every year, anytime. I mean, a great franchise, a great anything, really, it takes time. We got a new coach in there, a guy I trust, a guy I know that has won a Super Bowl, and we're gonna have to let this thing play out. A lot of injuries this year, a lot of ups and downs, but it was the COVID year. There was an asterisk next to it regardless. So we're gonna get back to the drawing board, and we signed Kellen Moore to a 3-year contract extension. That's our offensive coordinator. So I see a lot of big things coming from Jerry World.
Well, as I told you off air, my guy Scott Tolzien's on the staff there,
Yep.
so I have some feelings. So number 12 is not for Aaron Rodgers then that you're wearing? It's for another quarterback? Is that true?
Yep, Roger Staubach. My dad grew up a big Cowboys fan, and came from Roger Staubach. So, and then I ended up taking my dad's number in high school, and then he actually told me where that came from. So, yeah, little fun fact there.
How many of your friends even know who Roger Staubach is? Did his name ring a bell?
Yeah, they don't know who they probably don't know who Troy Aikman is either, but I mean, they just got to educate themselves.
You do. Tell them the history of Calvin Hill, Bob Lilly, Lance Rensel, all those guys.
All the greats.
Yep, you can enlighten them. Appreciate your time, Trevor Anderson, one of the real key components for this Wisconsin basketball team. Stay with us. We'll have more to come as Dallas Cowboys Weekly, the Badger Sports Report continues right after this.
Because of this, we made Ford Super Duty the most capable heavy-duty pickup ever. Because of this, we built Ford F-150 with 375 horsepower and best-in-class payload.
Rescue 614 en route.
Because of this, we built Ford Ranger with the terrain management system. And because Ford trucks are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
The Badger Sports Report is built by Ford, a proud partner of Wisconsin athletics. By Hyvee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hyvee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
As always, we thank head coach Greg Gard, and we especially thank Trevor Anderson for joining us this week. A week on the road for the Wisconsin Badgers, a Tuesday night game in Ann Arbor coming up, as well as a Friday night trip to Piscataway, New Jersey to take on Rutgers. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hyvee Plus. Get a Hyvee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hyvee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today.
Compeer Financial has always been there for our clients and communities in any situation. And our support continues today as our clients work relentlessly to feed, clothe, and fuel the world. Compeer is proud to continue our strong commitment to our clients, the rural communities where they live, and to agriculture. We're here to help meet the financial needs of rural America. And we'll navigate through this together.
You've heard the saying, if it looks like bacon and it tastes like sausage, it's probably Johnsonville sausage strips. Oh, you never heard that? Well, sausage strips are pretty new. They're strips of sausage in amazing flavors like maple and chorizo. You can find this meaty miracle by the bacon, even though it's sausage.
Whoa.